How you going? It's Jordan from Canifab. Got a GWM cannon in today and we're going to show you how to fit our stainless steel snorkel step by step. First step, we'll get some masking tape and cover the whole guard up where we're going to be working, so we're not going to be scratching it with our clothes or tools or anything like that. Just make sure when you're taping up, it's super important to get tape if you have a flare on the seam, because swarf will get down in there and you won't be able to get it out and it'll get rust in there. As well as the A-pillar, because when we're putting the snorkel on, you want to make sure you don't scratch your paint or dent your car, so it's super important. Next step, get your template on the guard and we're going to mark it out with your trusty permo. You'll end up with a hole looking sort of like this. And next step is we'll pull the inner guard out so that we're not drilling swarf and it's getting caught on there. Right, we've got the inner guard out now. There's two 10mm bolts under here holding to the bar, 3 screws here, and then the rest are these little scrivets. Now these can be a bit of a drama because they're a Phillips head, but they don't generally want to wind out. So if that is the case for yours, you just need a right angled pick, just get under there, pop it out, and hopefully it's as easy as that. Righto, next, pull this factory intake pipe out. You definitely do not need that anymore. It's just as simple as 2 10mm bolts. Give it a wiggle, out she comes. There's a little rubber O-ring that sits on the airbox where that intake pipe was. Just take that off and discard that as well. Next step, the fun part. We're going to drill a hole inside this car. Righto, next step, we're going to cut the hole out and follow the line. We like to do it with tin snips, but you've got to make sure you get the good quality ones. You'll need right and left-handed ones. You should end up with a hole looking like this. Once you've done that, grab a file and you're going to clean up the edges. Once you're done cutting and filing, next step, we've got to seal that edge off so it doesn't rust. A bit of touch-up paint will do the job nicely. Next, just remove the tape around the hole so you can get your pinch weld on, and we'll chuck that on. When you do, just put the joint at the top, so when the snorkel's on, you don't see. Next step is to get the snorkel in the guard and in the hole, and then we need to mark the holes in the A-pillar where we're going to drill and fasten it to it. When you do it, just make sure you get the windscreen angle and the side angle correct, otherwise the snorkel won't look any good. Once you drilled your 3 9mm holes in the pillar, we'll touch it up with some touch-up paint. Next step is grab your rib nut gun and the supplied rib nuts, and we'll chuck them in these holes here so we can bolt the snorkel in. Next step, just get your snorkel on and bolt it on. Just use the 3 supplied black Allen keys. We'll start plumbing it up now. Get your 4 to 3 90-degree reducer and spray a bit of WD just to help you get it on the end of the snorkel. Make sure that it's facing the forward of the car so we can plumb it into the airbox. Next, you get your silicone 3" 90 and your supplied 45-degree stainless bend, and this side will go onto the airbox. Make sure it's orientated like that. Now it's time to chuck your stainless hose clamps on all the joints. So open them up like that, put it around the silicone, and then start the thread. This is what the intake piping should look like once it's all done. Final step is just get your inner guard back in and all the clips put back in, and you should end up with something like this. This is the final product. We're super stoked with it. If you have any issues at all while fitting it or after it's all fitted, don't hesitate to give us a call or flick us a message on Facebook, and we're more than happy to help out.